Alright, let's dive into something that's shaking up the college sports world. And trust me, this is bigger than just football. LSU has reportedly closed a $100+ million private equity deal tied to their future media rights. Now, on the surface it sounds like a financial move, but personally, I think this is a game changer for how we think about college athletics. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just about the money, it's about the future of media rights, the SEC's renegotiation with Disney, and how universities are starting to think like businesses. From my perspective, this is a clear sign that college sports are evolving into a full-blown industry, and teams are no longer just relying on ticket sales and merch to stay afloat. Here's the deal. LSU is essentially selling 10% of its football program's value to a private equity firm in exchange for an immediate cash infusion. But what many people don't realize is that this isn't just a one-time payout. The investors get a guaranteed return or a cut of the enhanced media rights value when the SEC renegotiates its deal with Disney, whichever is higher. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a bet on the future value of college football media rights. And let's be honest, with the way streaming and broadcasting deals are skyrocketing, it's a pretty safe bet. This raises a deeper question. Are we seeing the beginning of a new era where universities treat their athletic programs like startups, selling equity to fuel growth? One thing that immediately stands out is LSU's call option to reclaim that 10% stake after 5 years. In my opinion, this shows they're confident in their program's ability to perform under Lane Kiffin. But it also suggests they're playing the long game. If the football team succeeds, they can buy back the stake and keep the profits in-house. What this really suggests is that universities are becoming more strategic about their financial partnerships. It's not just about taking money. It's about leveraging assets to maximize future returns. Now let's talk about the donors. LSU is hosting closed-door sessions with their top athletic donors to explain the deal and encourage more investment. A detail I find fascinating is that most of these donors didn't even know the private equity deal had already happened. This isn't just about raising money. It's about keeping the elite donors in the loop and making them feel like they're part of something bigger. But here's the catch. The minimum investment threshold is $100,000. This isn't a crowdfunding campaign. It's a high-stakes game for affluent supporters who are willing to bet on LSU's success. What makes this really interesting is how it reflects the growing divide between casual fans and the elite donor class in college sports. Another point to consider is what LSU is not selling. Ticket revenue is off the table because of concerns about price hikes for fans. Personally, I think this is a smart move. Selling ticket revenue could alienate the fan base, and let's be honest, no one wants to see ticket prices skyrocket. But merchandising? That's on the table. This raises a deeper question. Where do we draw the line between monetizing a program and preserving its connection to the community? It's a fine balance, and LSU seems to be navigating it carefully. If you take a step back and think about it, this deal is part of a bigger trend in college athletics. Michigan State and Utah have done similar deals, and LSU's athletic director, Verge Osbury, has been vocal about the challenges and changes facing the industry. From collective bargaining to antitrust issues, everything is on the table. What this really suggests is that college sports are at a crossroads. The old model of relying on donations and ticket sales isn't enough anymore. Universities are looking for new ways to generate revenue, and private equity is just one piece of the puzzle. So what's the takeaway here? In my opinion, this deal is a sign of the times. College athletics are becoming more corporate, more strategic, and more focused on long-term value. But it also raises questions about who really owns these programs and what their priorities should be. Are they still community institutions, or are they turning into profit-driven enterprises? Personally, I think it's a mix of both, and finding that balance is going to be the real challenge moving forward. What do you think? Is this the future of college sports? Or are we losing something along the way? Let me know in the comments below.